Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts Shipyard Champions. We're at the Admiralympics week 4. This means we're designing battle cruisers. As per the usual, you're going to be building these in 1.6. So currently I'm running 1.6.0.4. And there are a couple of requirements for this particular mission. We can have any of 1 to 3 ships, so that's entirely up to you, but all ships, total, must be under a combined price of 12 billion. The starting range is going to be between 10 and 20 kilometers up to the, let's say, the defending party. I'm going to be designing a battle cruiser, sending that in, and then whoever gets to face that gets to face it under my conditions. So I could go for anything between 10 and 20 kilometers there. The ship can only have single and twin guns, no triple or quad guns. And the ship must have a speed equal to or between 27 and 37 knots. I decided to go with the British this time around because they have quite a lot of options. They have the large cruiser doing really only 36 tons. Well, so now I'm used to Arms Trade Tycoon, 36,000 tons. And we have the super battle cruiser ranging all the way up to 82,500 tons. You might go, oh, that's our candidate. Let's make an enormous battle cruiser and make sure that this ship is going to be capable of tanking everything. Yeah, maybe. The problem with that particular plan is that you have a very sizable ship, which also means you're a very sizable target. And being a sizable target is not necessarily in your best interests. I also have the option of going with the G3 battle cruiser, the modern battle cruiser. Like, I have a couple of different options. And I think battle cruiser 6 is not that interesting. I mean, yeah, resistance is 68. Resistance here is 75. And considering I'm going up against player-designed ships, I want to have as much resistance as possible. The resistance here is 78, the resistance here is 73. The 75 is okay. And with a 55,000-ton ship, I should be able to place 3 of these ships. Crew training can only be 50, so let's go with that. Then an issue that this ship might have is that it's not that fast. So if we want to rush this thing around at, let's say 27 knots, yeah, we're sacrificing a little bit of displacement, but it's not that bad. All right, range is not that important. We're going to go with the standard crew quarters. I think this is... It's not useless, but the rate at which crew kills, if that was ever a term, were viable, that has been decreased enormously. Like, you need to have so many crew losses before your ship actually surrenders. Now, what type of ship do I want to build? I want to build a ship that the AI can use fairly well. That's the main goal. Let's see, this is going to take 13.3, this is going to take 13.100 for gas turbines, and 13k for diesels. But diesels are quite a bit more expensive. Not that much more. Okay, fine. Let's go with an auxiliary engine. Seeing as we're a fairly big ship, I think we don't really need that much of a propeller shaft. Like, it's not going to get that much better. Reinforced bulkheads. Make sure the ship can take a torpedo hit, because I trust myself to do okay with dodging, but I don't trust the AI to do okay with dodging. We're going to make this ship very well maxed out on armor. And normally I don't start with that, but that's what we're going to do right now. So it's going to be a brick. We're going to have a hefty inner belt, another inner belt, inner deck, deck. There you go. So now we have about 23,000 tons to play around with. And considering the price tag, I need to start watching how much I'm going to spend on this ship. Because I can potentially have 3 of them if I keep it under 4 billion. Large secondary tower? Jesus, you weren't kidding. Shall we turn that around? Maybe, yeah, like that. No, it's actually too large. 2,500 tons. Okay. Accuracy stats, 24, 26, 15. Oh, come on. There you go. It has to be here, otherwise the ship won't really function that well. At least we can make a fairly condensed superstructure. That's nice. Let's throw in a funnel. Or not. Because the game isn't willing to accommodate me. One whole funnel. It's not a lot. I hope we can make that work. Okay, regarding the guns then. If I'm going to be taking this ship and starting at a short range, we're going to be looking at, let's say 10 kilometers. Let's go brawl mode. So I have tons and tons of armor. That doesn't mean I will be kept perfectly safe. Because there's also such a thing as torpedoes. There's also such a thing as the ability to pen armor at short ranges with very big guns. If I would have, let's say, a standard, I don't know, let's say a 13-incher. I know I can't have triples, but I'm just comparing stats. This 13-inch gun at 10 kilometers can pen 8 inches of armor. It's not that impressive. However, once we start putting all the high gear stuff in here, this picture is going to change dramatically. And now they can pen about 20 inches of armor with AP. So that's more than I have. Although with the inner belts, perhaps I'll be able to hold at least some shells back. What do I want to bring? I could bring a lot of 9-inchers. Because they have the range that I need. Especially if I'm starting at 10 clicks out. And just, let's say building a stupid build like this. This is something that the AI actually understands. If that makes sense. Because it is so simple to use. It's not some bow-in battleship, for example, that the AI might go, huh, I have no idea how to use that. The problem is, this thing is going to be extremely relying on just flinging high explosive at targets. Because 9-inch, I think it's going to be pretty tricky to make that very, very pennable, very decent with pens. Like, you're getting 7 inches of armor. They can pen that. So, I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go with cap ballistic, super heavy, yes, believe it or not, picric acid shells, because they got the best high explosive damage, I believe. TNT gives you 17.5. Yeah, I want high fire chance, I want high damage. We're going to max high explosive shells, we're going to get barbette armor, and we're going to, of course, give these things more turret rotation and such. And now we're going to add side guns. Because if I am able to bring a couple of these ships, I might be able to have these things spew out on both sides of the ship. I could also opt for 8-inchers, because they're a little bit smaller. They do seem very tall. I'm not so sure if that'll actually... Yeah, supposedly that can shoot over the 8-incher, but really only just. So what I can do is put these 8s and make them 8.9s. And make sure that everything is armored. Turret armor. Yeah, all of it, please. You can't really armor them up that well. Wait, you can... You can armor up the 8.9s more than you can the 9s? Mark 5? Mark 5? I don't really understand this. Alright, fine. More barbette armor, please. All the armor, all the armor. Here we go. And then we're going to add another one there. I can potentially put another one on a barbette. Can you sit there? No, you can't. Do we need a tall barbette for that? Yeah, there you go. That'll work. Okay, I can pretty much copy that, well, some of it, to the back. Making sure that we spew all the high explosive. And still have a ship that, again, the AI is capable of using. The problem is, if something gets encountered that has a lot of armor, I'm not sure I will be able to sink it. That's a concern. I'm not sure I'll be able to sink it. I could place a couple of torpedo launchers on the sides. I'm not sure if that will actually do anything, though. Because the torpedo launchers might just get blown off if there's room for them at all. They'll not turn. Yeah, that's going to be a tricky fit. I could go for like 52,000. No, not 52 tons. 52,000 tons. Makes the ship slightly bigger. Of course, that immediately comes with a different impact because you're going to have to relocate some of the components. Yeah, and now the whole secondary tower doesn't fit anymore. And if you're making everything bigger like that, you're also running into other limitations of the ship. Which is, I'm going to be running a more expensive ship. And that means I might not be able to get 3 of them. Come on. lord, sometimes this game is so finicky. Get back here. The game also starts lagging quite substantially if you're dragging turrets around. There. Sit. We're still under the limit. Need to keep it sub 4 billion. Yeah, that'll turn. Okay. We are sub 4 billion. Excellent. What I can do is shoot loads and loads and loads of shells at the front. These actually have remarkably good firing angles. And with turret rotation of 6.5 degrees per second, they should turn very quickly. So that's working. Flash fire chance is 6.5%. It's not great. Now it's 5.8. It's still a little higher than I would like. Throwing in an RDF can help with further gun aiming speed. And I don't think I can armor this thing any more than it currently has armor. So the last 1,000 tons, I'm not really sure what to put around. Like, I could opt for a torpedo launcher here. And maybe have a sort of nasty surprise. But, of course, the other captain, admiral, is going to immediately know that there are torpedoes. Because they immediately have the specs of the ship. So that's a bit of a problem. 21 inch, I don't know, make it 24 inch. Yeah, some parts are badly placed. Fine, 21 inch it is. Okay, I still have 1,700 tons left. It's very unusual for my doing. Nope, that's way too expensive. Aux 3 it is. Kick off the shaft. No, it's just going to be too expensive. Increase the shaft. Fine. And steering. Nope, that's too expensive. I think that's about it. Do I have enough shells? Because that did kind of do me in last time around. So let's go with increased shells. And now I have a base armament of 10 9-inchers. And then another 8 8.5s or 8.9s. So essentially all 9-inchers. That's really what it comes down to. Okay, let's submit this. And see what sort of opponents we're going to get. This is going to be an interesting design. Time for a standoff between the British battle cruisers, which I have named the Bazinga class, and the Congos, as designed by Bro Silly. These guys packing apparently 13.6s and lots and lots and lots of casemates. Looks like longer barrels too. The 13s, yeah, they also got long barrels. So the reload's about 35 seconds. Which is, what, on par with mine? No, mine's 15 seconds. Yeah, of course, mine's going to be faster. The problem is they have a fairly sizable range advantage. And that's going to probably show in they're getting more accuracy. They're getting more hits. And maybe they're also getting more pen. We're fighting 20-kilometer range. They can pen 19 inches of belt armor. They can pen about 8 inches of deck armor. That is all counting on the fact that it's not angled. Which it is, and I'm hoping that I can keep it that way. Now, we have a couple hundred rounds. A couple thousand, or well, not a couple thousand, but at least plenty. So let's see if we can take at least some shots of these battle cruisers, although we appear to be out of range. Unfortunate. Let's charge in there. Set a loose formation. None of this formation swapping nonsense. And yeah, for the moment, I don't mind blasting through armor piercing, because armor piercing itself is, well, gonna be fairly useless at this range. And any range. The shorter ranges really don't do that well. They don't do much better. I really hope that the AIs can just stupidly charge me. Yeah, there they go. Come on, people. Stupidly charge me and we'll be fine. We're gonna go and turn, and we're gonna swap to high explosive. So we have 627 rounds for HE, and we have 1,000 rounds of high explosive 8-inch ammunition. Excellent. Burn them down. Although, like, getting a full extensive fire overwhelm is exceedingly rare these days, so I'd rather discount the likelihood of that happening. Let's see how well armored these things are. Now that's a bit more reasonable than what I'm carrying. 8-inch forebelt, 8-inch aft, 16 main belt. Foredeck and aft deck are not that good, and superstructure's not that good either, but with short range, I might be able to pen their superstructure. And of course, at longer ranges with AP, I'll also be able to pen their superstructure. I don't really think this is gonna work, but it's definitely gonna be an interesting experience. And as long as I can keep my ships angled and just keep doing damage to theirs, maybe we can make something happen. Yeah, or not. Please don't kill my turrets. I need my turrets. I like my turrets. At what range are we going to be able to pen that superstructure? 3.7. We're getting that at 1,000 meter range. Right. Destroy the main gun. I was going to say remember the good old days of HE spam, but arguably they weren't that good. They were not that good. Okay, we're going to split the division because they're firmly focused on the lead ship, which I'm going to exploit by turning both Ocean and Bazinga's port side. Just go broadside. And hopefully we'll be able to get some actual pen hits on Congo. Congo is falling back in the formation. And because they're doing that, all their turrets are pointing the wrong way. Now we're going to swap to armor piercing. Range 6 clicks. No, I don't really think we'll pen a whole lot. They have lost 20% of their crew. Normally that used to be very good. These days it's like, eh. It's not that impressive. Do these guys have... No, they don't have any torpedoes. I do. This is vanilla, so they will get a warning about the fact that there is, in fact, a torpedo in the water. But, like, the repulse launching torps at this angle against probably Congo, it was never gonna happen. Just exceedingly unlikely. This target, though, is different. I do hope I can get the torpedoes away before they blow the launcher off the ship. Everybody hose down the Yari. I know I need to finish off the Congo, but this target is pretty close now, so my high explosive might do more. You're going to turn bow in again. We're just going to brawl everything. Turn. Sort of turn in. What's your anti-torpedo system? Anti-torp 2. So yeah, that left a mark. 8,000... Sorry, 8,000. 80% structural. Come on. Still flooding. You're gonna just turn in. I want you to use the port side launcher against the Yari. Repulse, despite taking 20,000 points of damage, is still fighting. She is struggling. Certainly. But I'm not at all disappointed. Oh, flash fire. By her performance. I think Yari is gonna fall back. I don't think they're gonna have a very good time. Fortunately, that kind of works both ways. Yeah, this is gonna hurt a lot. Overpens. And a bunch of ricochets and blocks. Really? You can pen that at this range? I find that very hard to believe. Yeah, they can pen everything they want. Okay. Yari is down to 67% and flooding. This one's down to 55 and no flooding. They've destroyed another main gun. Do I even have any main guns? Yeah, I still got some on the stern. Repulse finds herself completely surrounded. Pretty bad position to be in, but there's not much I can do to help her. She's done. Can we all, pretty please, select the same target? Repulse. 31,000 damage. No, we're not really planning on a ram here. Hold on. Hope my torpedo launchers have survived. Because this is a perfect range. Yeah, here we go. That's 4 torps. Well done. Unfortunately, we're just spreading out our damage across all these ships. Not good enough. Damage done, damage taken is very similar. Like we're 36 or 30 for 37. So it's not that good. Go for armor piercing. Just armor pierce everything here, please. And maybe we can flood them out. All the while, we're going to turn to starboard. Get the port launcher away on the Yari. Ocean is going to try and get into range of the Congo. I mean, yeah, they're definitely in range. It's just, I want to have better range. Overpanned, rudder damaged. Torpid. Range is not ideal, and they are moving away, but I'm not sure how long the Bazinga is still going to survive this this little encounter here. Come on, dude. Get your torps off. I don't think they can. I think they can. Okay, fine. Switch to the Chitose. I just hope we have enough range to arm the torpedoes. Which is not a given. Oh, we're ramming. Yeah, we did land 5 torps on Chitose, and Chitose has a flash fire. Interesting. So you guys aren't exactly immortal either. Not invulnerable to the old flash fire. It's gonna be a shitty torpedo angle. Okay, turn back to port. You destroyed a main gun of mine. Yeah, you did. Come on. HE again. Come left. You're gonna torpedo right. We're gonna finish off Chitose. And then you're gonna torpedo left. You're gonna finish off Yari. This is one of those situations where having torpedo launchers on both sides really helps. Can you sink? Thank you. Come on. Any old time now. There you go. Good man. Okay, so that ought to take care of Yari. Lost 42% of crew. I have lost 6% of the crew here. Yari's desperately turning to port, but too little, too late. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4... Surprisingly survivable, these ships. Not in a good way. Finish them off. Unfortunately, I can't exactly inflict a whole lot more flooding easily. So I'm hoping that these additional 3 compartments are going to fill up quick. Because that's pretty much my only hope here. Armor piercing. Well, we are fighting at 1,000 meter range. Put the 9 inchers on AP. 13.7, 11.6. Bow and stern ought to be pennable. Yep, there's more flooding. That's what I was looking for, right on the stern. Flooding on the ocean as well. Yeah, okay, that sounded ironic. But then again, don't name your ship Ocean. Come on. 5% structural, 13% flood. Sorry, float. And Yari is succumbing to her flooding. 58% crew loss. They're definitely going down fighting, that's for sure. 1%. Done. Okay, this is where it's going to get interesting, because the Congo can outrun me. For a while. Up until the point where it takes a whole lot of damage. And maybe then it's not going to be as fast, but my ships probably aren't doing their top speed either. And I do have torps ready. That's the starboard battery. Crew loss 36%. Their control is pretty bad. Their main guns are starting to falter, and their secondary guns have taken about half losses. Unfortunately, my ships aren't doing too hot either. If I'm going to predict how this fight's going to go under AI control, I think it's not going to go well. If the AI controls the ships that I have, and does not use the torpedoes in a close range encounter, I don't think I'll win. Not at all. 49% crew lost. I think they kind of overdid it with the damage control, or with the crew loss. Because the rate at which you can now lose crew and still have a functioning ship, I mean, sure, you might be able to run it with, what, 30%? But how are you going to run your damage control? Because we have fires in, what, like 8 compartments? How are you going to fix that? Who is going to fix that? Well, there's still somebody who has to shovel either coal or oil into an engine. Somebody has to run engineering. Somebody has to do, oh, I don't know, loading the guns. And that definitely isn't going as fast as it used to anymore. But 39 seconds? It's not that... Oh, come on. It's not that bad. Congo is definitely running and making it very difficult for me to get a torpedo attack off. "65% crew lost. 66. Their control was 20%. How are you still running this ship? Very, very impressive. 69%. 70. Come on. Keep pushing. Let's get the torps off. Turn back to port, insofar as the rudder will allow. Maybe we can land one hit? Yep. Flooding on the stern. Surprisingly, that's actually their first flooding, I think. So, remarkably survivable, these Congos. Crew loss, 76%. They have 7% control of the ship. They definitely overdid this. I mean, yeah, I get that you want to buff it, but like go from 45% crew loss to 55 or something, not to 78. Or what is it, 80? How many crew do they have to lose? 2 duds? Feel cheated. "79%, 80%, finally they surrendered." Damn. That took a while. They had 275 out of the original 1,300 sailors aboard that ship. Impressive. So, I lost one ship. I did sink all 3 of them, so at least that's a few points. How well my ship's going to do against Brocili on his video? Yeah. I'm not feeling that confident, but we'll have a look. Link down below in the description. Brocili's video. And you can see my own Bazinga class perform there. Or not. Thank you for watching this one. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for more.